Hi, this is Stefano and this is Ploc episode number 1. If you don't know what Ploc is, check the link in the description and you'll find out. What we are going to do today is, maybe I just show it to you. It's this. So what is happening there is we take a video feed of a camera, we analyze in real time the movement, and we control the video speed of something you loaded, of a movie that you loaded in your computer with the movement, okay? So movement amount connects to video speed and everything happens in real time. This is something that dependently from your setup, meaning where do you put the camera, what is it pointing at, is it pointing at the whole body, is it pointing at hands, faces, at an eye, at feet, dependently from that, and dependently from the kind of video you load, what is it, how does it behave, the result can vary really a lot, okay? You can get really creative with this stuff. So, in this video, we will build this, and in the next 3 videos, I will go through real-life applications, okay, like use cases. We are going to build that with Max 9 and a package called ste.snips, okay? Unlock your patch. Command E, Control E if you're on Windows, or Command click, Control click if you're on Windows in the background, or just click on this padlock on the lower left of your patch. Get used to this lock and unlock, okay? Let's go to the snippets here, this paperclip symbol. Let's search for starter pack. ste.starterpack. Click, drag it and drop it. Voila. I will also zoom in so we all see a little bit better what is happening. Voila, it's a snippet that contains 4 different snippets. It contains a 3D world, which is this output window here, or creates this output window. This is the inside of the 3D world. We don't need it right now, we can close it. It contains here audio output, the sound output, can be left and right speakers of your computer or whatever you select. We also have this autosave, which basically saves together with the patch the values of these snippets, how they are stored, their parameters value. And then we have folder path, which is checking in which folder your patch is saved, and checking subfolders for maybe some files you want to load and make the load easier. Let's go back to the snippets. Let's grab ste.pixCam. Oops. Voila. You will find 3D cam and pixCam. Get the pixCam. Also, you don't need to write the whole name. You can just write cam and it should come up. Drag and drop it. Voila. It should open. This is it. If you have more cameras attached to your computers, you can select them here. You can also select different formats of how the camera comes in. I will actually switch to 640x480 because we are working with real-time stuff here. It is better for our computer if we work with less resolution, especially because we are not going to show this video feed, this camera feed, anywhere, okay? Then, next thing is, let's grab another snippet, and this snippet will be movement. Let's search for movement. ste.pixGetMovement. Drag, drop. It comes out here. It's still not showing anything because it's not connected. Let's connect it. Let's connect the output of the pixCam to the input of the pixGetMovement, and now we see something. So what is this doing? It basically checks the camera input and checks for movement amount, okay? It compares the pixels, and if they change, voila, movement. We have a sensitivity value here. It's a number box, so keep in mind that in Max, you can change number boxes by clicking and dragging, by clicking and typing a number and then pressing return. And also it is very important to keep in mind that if your mouse is on the left side of the number box, you will change very quickly. If your mouse cursor is on the right side of the number box, you can be way more precise, okay? I will actually now type 0.8 return. Voila. Generally, 0.8 is a pretty good number. Most of the time you can just leave it as it is. We can close these, we can close these. Next, we have the main snippet, which is called video loop. Okay, drag and drop. Voila. This is a snippet that loads a video. It loads the chickens by default. We will use this video for now, all in this video, because it's a video that everybody has. It's from the Max library, okay? It's not the greatest artistic result ever, but we all have it, and it's gonna help us see if everything works. This video loop snippet has different parameters inside. You can see we can drag and drop a file here. This is the name of the file loaded. You can reset the loop in case you change the loop points. You can decide to have a palindrome loop. If we change the speed, which is this parameter here, interactively, it's good to leave the palindrome loop off, okay? But we see, we also have start in milliseconds, length in milliseconds, and volume for the sound volume. This video specifically does not have sound, so it doesn't really matter. But you see here, I can click and drag up the speed. Also here, remember, be on the right side of the number box, otherwise you're super fast, okay? Click and drag on the right side of the number box to be precise. We can go fast. We can go backward. If we go to minus, we can click and type 0 and the video will stop. So this is how the speed works. 1 is normal speed, 2 is double speed, -1 is normal speed reversed. This is the number that we will control interactively with our movement. Cool. Now, how do we get a value out of the pixGetMovement? So the pixGetMovement has 3 outputs. The first output is a float number. So if I press F to create a float number and plug it in, I see what comes out there. It's a number that kind of quantifies the amount of movement happening in front of the camera. If I stay still, it's kind of 0. If I move, the number rises. If I move a lot, the number rises even more. Cool. The other 2 outputs are kind of the image of the movement. We can see that output by creating a new object in Max. So you press N to create a new, real, original Max object, not a snippet. And we type in git.perWindow. You can type in the whole name if you want, or just click on the suggestion, or just when you see that autocomplete works, just press return, and voila. If we connect it to the last output, we see this is the same image that we saw also inside the snippet window. If we connect it to the second output, this is a similar image, but it's in grayscale, so it doesn't have this hard threshold black and white image. I will connect it here, put this window there so that I can always check that everything works. If you want to make this window bigger, you can click and drag any corner if you're bothered, because of course the proportion kind of get weird. To keep the proportions, you can press and hold Shift, and then you drag and it will keep proportions. Good. So we have a beautiful value coming out, and we have a parameter inside the video loop, which is called speed, which is the parameter we want to influence with our movement. So what do we do now? The most important parameters inside snippets, they are usually available as inputs. If you place your cursor on top of this Pix video loop, you see there are some inputs and there are some hints of what those inputs are for, or to modify what, to modulate what. And the fourth one is the speed. If I plug this number into the fourth input, which is the speed, we see that this number goes and starts modulating the speed of the chickens video. Cool. This is really kind of working. We can plug the output of the video loop with the chickens in the STE 3D world so that we have it output like this. I can press ESC and go full screen and see that it works. Cool. Now, to be fair, this works because we are lucky. Why are we lucky? We are lucky because the numbers that come in from the interaction, which are something like, so if I don't move 0, and if I move 5, 6, 7, this is for me. This is me with my computer, with my background, with my t-shirt, with my camera. It's very specific to the situation. So these are my range of number, kind of 0 to 7. And these kind of fit the speed of the chickens video. So like when I feed these numbers into the speed parameter, they are kind of okay for that parameter. This is our luck now. Because it could happen that the values coming in from the interaction are really, really wrong for the kind of parameter you're trying to change. So 90% of the times, 95, I would say, you always need to take care of these values and how you scale them to make them fit what you really need to do, okay? So let's go through this process. Let's make a little bit of space above the video loop. We will go for a new snippet, and this snippet is called in-out scale. ste.in-out scale. Click, drag, drop. Voila. We can delete this big patch cord. We connect the float number to the in scale and the output of the out scale here at the bottom. Again, to the fourth input of the video loop, which is the speed. Cool. What is happening now? What can we do with these snippets? So, once we dragged the in-out scale, the in-scale snippet opened, we also saw that the in-out scale is another, let's say, meta snippet that actually contains three things. It contains the in-scale, a purple slider, and an out scale. The in-scale snippet opened up. Let's see what this does. This is the process. The in-scale takes these numbers that coming from the interaction. These numbers are always a little bit wild. You don't know what the range is. It depends from a lot of stuff. And what is good to do is to take these values and normalize them, which means scale them so that they fit a number range which is from 0 to 1. 0 to 1 is very nice for humans. It's easy to understand. And then once this value is normalized, we can take this and scale it again to whatever things we want to modulate or control or change in our output or in our max patch. Okay, so step number 1, in scale, we scale it in. We take these wild numbers and we scaled it into a normalized value. We do it with the in-scale. We can also do it automatically. You see here, there is a big auto button. Let's click it and let's do this. Let's stay still. Great. Let's move. Don't freak out, otherwise you need to freak out all the time. Just move a little bit. Once you're done, click again the auto button and it will turn off. So when it's blinking, it's reading and trying to understand the range of numbers that are incoming from the interaction. Good. Now we have this set. In minimum is 0. So this was the lower number that came in from the interaction. The in maximum is 7.2. This is the highest number that came in from the interaction when I was moving a lot. Okay, this is the peak. And if this thing went well, you see this purple slider, it should kind of nicely represent and follow how much you're moving. So if I don't move, the slider is down. If I move a little bit, the slider increases a little. If I move a lot, the slider goes up and reaches its top. If you have the feeling that this purple slider is too easy to move or too difficult to push with your movement, redo the whole auto process. So stay still, turn on the auto button while it's blinking, it's reading the movement. Once you think it's fine, click it again and check how the purple slider reacts to your movement. Okay, this is really, really important. This needs to be set nicely. Second step. So here we have again the purple slider. Just give always a check that the input, the interactivity is nicely tuned and calibrated. Second step is the outscale. So let's lock the patch, double click on the outscale, it opens up. This is a really similar process. We can't do it automatically because it depends a bit from our personal aesthetic, okay? What we have here is out minimum, out maximum. Let's not care much about this power parameter for now. We will talk about it maybe in future sessions. Main thing is out minimum, out maximum. So, what are these things? These are the minimum and maximum that your speed will go. In this case, I'm talking about the speed of the chicken's video, okay? So what is the two limits of the output range? So if I stay still, now what comes out is 0. This is the output minimum. If I move a lot, what I will be able to reach maximum, the output is 1. Which is already happening and influencing our chickens video. If I stay still, the chickens are still. If I move, the maximum that I can get with a lot of movement is normal speed of the chicken. Let's say I don't want to have normal speed. I want to have way faster speed. Let's say 5 times more the speed. Zack. And now, if I move a lot, they go really, really fast. And also if I move a little, they will move, but not crazy fast. So the goal is to tune and calibrate this in a way that you can nicely control these chickens with your movement. Okay, let's leave this here for now. I will come back to this later. I just want to kind of finish this quickly. Let's close this outscale. Now, a couple of things more. Let's open the patch or unlock the patch again. I would like to have some space above the in scale. So I will make some space there. And in there, I will put a new snippet. So go left, snippet menu, and we search for smoother, smoother. Click that, drop. Cool. Now, I would like to put it here. Let's say that I'm lazy and I don't want to delete this cable and recable it. A little tip for you: press and hold Shift on your keyboard, and while you position the snippet in there, plop, it will pop in. This happens with any Max object, not only snippets. What does this smoother do? It opened up. Here we see the inside. It has one parameter and it's smoothness. Basically, you feed it a jittery number, the number from that we are getting from the interaction now. It's quite agitated. It's like, it's moving, but it's kind of jittery. And the smoother can smooth out the changes of this interactive number. The higher the smoother value is, the slower and smoother the movement of the interactive value will be. Okay, so if I put it really, really high, like 2000s, let's see what happens. So this is my number, it comes in here, and we should see the smoothing result already here in the purple slider. So now if I move very fast, it will take some time for this purple slider to shoot up. See, I need to move. And then if I stop suddenly, the purple slider will not drop immediately. It will slowly sink down, you see? This is because the smoother value in the smoother snippet is really, really high. Something like 200 is good. Again, here is something you need to try out. Just try out, depending from the situation, you'll find a sweet spot that is good in terms of like the interaction is still fast and responsive, but it doesn't feel like shaky and jittery. Okay. A last little thing, only for our chickens. Let's go to the Pix video loop. If you closed it, just lock your patch and double click on the Pix video loop snippets so that it comes up. And you see here the video loop, we can also start milliseconds, length milliseconds, you can input these, but you can also just change these with your mouse cursor in the timeline of the video. What I want to do here is have it so that the end of the video is not so jumpy and there is not much of an abrupt difference when it loops back. So I'm just going to do maybe something like that. Let me see. And loop, kind of, and loop, a little bit more, and loop. So you see now the chicken is kind of being, the chicken at the end is kind of being replaced by a chicken that is also at the beginning. So it's a bit of a less abrupt jump, visually speaking. Okay, good. Let's go full screen. Let's give it a check. You go full screen by clicking on the output window. Let me show this again. You click on this, press ESC on your keyboard, and voila, it's. Do not go full screen like this. Weird things will happen. Just don't. Okay. Don't use the system buttons. Use the ESC key. That's it. Chicken reacting nicely to my movement. Yeah. Okay. Now, a little important thing that I would like to underline. This part here with the smoother, the in-scale and the outscale, which is the most numbery part, is actually really, really important for two reasons. One, if any of this is set wrong, the interaction might either not work or work but very poorly. Okay? the parameters that you put in the in scales, the parameters that you put in the out scale, the smoother value, mostly the in scale and the out scale. These scaling of the incoming interactive parameters is really important because it can change everything. So let's go for some examples. Let's say that my in scale is wrong. Why is it wrong? Let's say I do my in scale with my face very close to the camera. I make the automatic thing. I do it like this. Yeah. And then I turn it off kind of quickly, close to the camera. Then if I am very far from the camera, now you see, I need to kind of move a lot, and still I can't reach the top of my purple slider. You see, my in max is too high, and with my movements I can't reach it because I don't move enough. This is a problem. It can also happen the opposite. You do your auto thingy when you're really, really far, maybe in a corner, move here, then you turn it off, but then you change your position. Then you're really close to the camera. And now I don't really have much expressivity, meaning that as soon as I move only my head, this purple slider shoots up like hell, and I am at the top, at the maximum of the movement amount. So you see why in minimum, in maximum, these are really important to set the input parameters so that you feel that you can be expressive with interaction. What you can do also with these two, let's set it to something decent, something like that. So what I can do is, of course, because these are two number boxes, you can change them manually. If you have something that feels normal and you want to make it feel a little bit harder, if you want the audience or whomever is interacting with this to have to work more for it, just increase a little bit the in max. Just a little though, so that it's still possible to reach the top, but you really need to make an effort. So this influences the feeling of the interaction. And of course, if you have a connection with the content, with the video, then it creates extra sense. You know, if I interact with something and I see a heavy, big stone boulder thing, then to have an interaction that is an effort, it makes sense. On the contrary, if you want to make it feel easier, you just lower it a little bit than the normal, maybe even 5, so that it's very easy to reach the maximum speed. And maybe the video can be, I don't know, something light. I don't know, a feather. I don't know. Just to tell you, no? Content of the video, the feeling of the interaction can be used to create some extra meaning. And the feeling of the interaction depends from this in minimum, in maximum. Another thing you can do with this in minimum, in maximum is you can lift up the in minimum to create a little bit of a threshold so that little movement do not yet influence the interaction. I'm gonna show what I mean. In minimum, yeah. In minimum, here we have it basically 0. If I put 1, you see now the interaction is at 0, and I can move a little bit. I can speak, I can move my face, and this stays at 0. So we are kind of creating a noise threshold, like a noise gate, so to get rid of little movement. This can be useful. Or it can also be used more aesthetically. If you push it even more up, then I really need to move a lot. And this, for example, can be useful if you want to make a very clean cut between interaction and not interaction, like movement, stop, movement, stop, movement, and stop, movement, and stop. So in this way, there is a clean cut between the movement that needs to be a strong movement to be able to influence the interactivity. So you see, these are just two numbers, but you can do a lot with those. Then outscale, I will also repeat this. Out minimum, out maximum. This influences here, this thing, the speed of the video loop. This is important because this is your artistic, aesthetic choice of what you want to control, how you want to control it, how fast these chickens are going. Are they going forward, or if I put -5, are they going backward? Or are they going a little fast? Or are they going super fast? Or are they not stopping when I stop? What if they keep on running when I stop? Just slow. Let's say if I stop, out minimum 0.5. So I stop, they still go half speed. And then they speed up. But they never stop. Because in out minimum we don't have 0, but 0.5. So you see also here, with these two little numbers, you can decide quite a lot in the aesthetic and the feel of the interaction. They need to be set decently to be able to work at all, but also you can set them in a special way to give them a certain chosen aesthetic, okay? Cool. Another thing we can also do, since we're here, both the InScale and the OutScale have a invert button. So let's say now, let's go back to something normal. If I don't move, chickens are still. If I move, chickens are fast. What if I want to invert that? Let's do it. Click it. If I don't move, the chickens are fast. And if I move, the chickens are still. So with my movement, I slow down the chickens until they stop if I move fast. If I move slow, there is this in between. So you can always invert the relation between the interaction and the modulation of the parameter you want to control. This is also another aesthetic choice. To this, I will add separately an Annex article or video about video codecs. Now we are playing with this chicken movie. It's a short video. It's a full HD, I believe, but it's short. I think it's MP4, MOV. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. It's a compressed video. It should run fine on your computers. But the problem with these videos compressed, I guess in H.264, is that they are heavy to play back when you do weird stuff like what we're doing now, like controlling the speed in real time. If you have bigger videos, like more resolution, if you have longer videos, or if you have multiple videos, now we are using one, you can have more. It will probably happen that the computer starts to slow down, and in that case, you need to export your videos in a codec that is real-time friendly, okay? So there will be an annex about that. Find the link in the description. I'm happy to see the chickens, but in the next 3 videos, you will see this exact patch used in 3 different situations, real life situation, more creative use cases, kind of mini projects to really see what you can do with this setup. That's it. That's all. Yeah. See you next time. Ciao.